Hello lovers, it's Azalea Jane, and I'm back with another episode of my continuing saga of learning how to speedrun Half-Life. If you're new to this series, I'm mainly just making this for myself because it's fun to see my progression and it's fun to produce the videos. But, if anyone else is learning how to speedrun and they want to talk about the process with people who are also learning in the process of learning, this could go out to them too. So anyway, we've been in Blast Pit for a couple episodes now, and we're almost at the end. We have turned on the oxygen and fuel and power, and now we've come back into the central chamber to flip the ignition switch and kill the monster. Okay. So, first I'm going to just quickly turn on God mode to show, just to come in here. And so this last bit, there's kind of a sequence. Starts here, I gotta go up there, up the ladder, hop around there, flip the switch right there, and then hop back down here and get out of the chamber. That's the first challenge. So I'm gonna turn God off. So there are a lot of little tiny mini strats that people use. You can like do this and that. You can do a double shot. If you get a double shot in the right place, yeah, you can get that open. You can also shoot these things to get them to go down temporarily, and you can also nade them to make them sink down a little bit. Those are nice. They make it less dangerous, but take more time. So I'm gonna try this several times and see how it goes. I'm gonna try to get from here to there, back to here. Let's do this. Okay, so that was interesting. I'm gonna try doing this at a slightly slow tempo. Or actually, in this case, it seems to be really slow. I don't understand. So I'm going slowly, very slowly through here, and I'm trying to catch the ladder. It's, there we go. Also, it'd be nice to, get this out of the way sooner. And then come over here and I start another strafe. Start another strafe here to be a pre-strafe for our B-hop sequence. And then the goal is just to get it right around here. And hit that. And then, this is tricky too, to get back down here. Not so hard when it's really slow. But we got some damage there. But that's okay. The scientist will heal us. But I'm not going to use this one anyway. So it's a little bit of a hair-raising sequence here. Very easy to get killed. And those are somewhat random. But anyway, so as soon as you flip that switch, there starts a sequence. It takes about 22 seconds, and you cannot advance out of the level until it happens, until it's finished. Once it's done, you can exit through here. Yeah, see about 23 maybe. So after we get safely in and out of this chamber, having turned on this beautiful little... it's a gorgeous sight, isn't it? What you have to do is jump down here and catch that angle there. If you can sort of like catch yourself in the angle, you won't take damage. And then all you have to do is just run across here. Talk to the scientist. Thank you. And then, oh, that's very nice of him. So yeah, the best way to get rid of that zombie is similar to the beginning of Blast Pit. You do a double blast and then a crowbar hit. And then we just have to make our way back here. This is a little hard. I'm not good at that jump yet, but... and then this is open to leave. So that's not that hard, right? You know, you just have to run around and flip a switch and run some more and then run some more and yeah. So there is a whole set of techniques for descending this hole. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but people will like go down there and catch the ladder at the bottom. They'll sort of like surf, land on these smooth surfaces, or land on these various surfaces. Slanted surfaces, that's the word. So I'm not worried too much about that. It's probably one of those things I'll practice a bunch at one point when I'm like refining my run, is just getting down here without taking damage. And then of course, after that, the main thing is landing in the water and not somewhere else like that. So here we go. For real this time. Come on. There we go. We gotta go through and go in the direction of that fallen tentacle, sort of. And here we are. I'm gonna grab all the armor I can. I'm not sure how much I will need later, but just for now, I'm gonna grab a bunch. I don't need to grab any more health because there's a bunch of health coming up. So there's a split route here. An older route that I've seen in tutorials is basically to, you know, just sort of make your way along these things, so sort of bee-hop along them, maybe without taking damage. I'm not sure. I haven't really practiced it because I've been doing this other route here, which involves a new technique. I think this technique is called shark boosting, something like that. It involves using the duck roll, which is the binding of duck to the scroll wheel. So how this works is right around there, there's some sort of trigger that gives you a bunch of velocity when you pass through it. I'm not quite sure how it works, but how you take advantage of it here, from what I can tell, there are 3 steps. The first is, starting underwater, you basically point up and press W. You point up, directly up, press W. And so without anything else, you're going to sort of bounce on the water like this. And then the second thing you do when you point up and press W is you spam your duck bind. You see what happened there? Actually, I got some really fast speed for a split second. There I got up to about 700. So it's still hard for me to do at normal game speed. But then the final step is once you get that speed, you have to press space, which will bounce you on the top of which will bounce you on the top of the water and retain your speed. So again, the steps are start underwater, point straight up, ascend, press W, spam your duck bind, and then hold down space when you have the best speed, and you will retain a lot of that speed coming through this area. So it's for me, as you can see, it's pretty inconsistent with regular speed. I'm going to try it at a slightly slower frame rate. Let's see. Not frame rate, but game speed, I guess. So that makes it a little easier to catch those really high speeds, which is really fun once you get it. Then you... Oh, hi. So I'll do it at another even slower game speed. You can see what kind of high speeds you can get. So it points you kind of that direction. So as soon as you gather speed, I'm finding, you have to sort of strafe left to avoid ramming the wall and losing speed. And then, yeah, turning is hard. You'll lose speed turning probably, or at least I have. Either way, though, it beats. It's pretty good speed. So then you're going to be coming along barrel-assing at a pretty good speed, ideally. And then there's two ways to do this. One, which is somewhat random, you can try to just... There's a trigger right here. Where is it? Right there. There's a trigger right here in the water that when you hit it, it'll push you out. Like that. Let me do it at normal game speed. Here we go. So basically, like, you got to hit this pipe, drop down, and then hit that trigger, and then strafe. I've found this really, like, harder than I think it should be, but harder than some tutorials make it out to be. Anyway, but there you go. I got it. So that's that little bit. And then very last bit of Blast Pit is right here. When I have the triggers showing, this white one is an autosave trigger. So now if I die, I'll respawn there. And this trigger here is what will cause the pipe to break. And then we hit the ground. Fortunately, there's a lot of health in here. There's a couple different strats to avoid damage. You can just land on that table. Even now at 54 health, like, I got 2 health packs there, and there are 2 more health packs, no, 3 more to be had amongst all these things, which will take us up pretty high. You can also reduce your fall damage by lowering your frames per second. But it really does, like... It's kind of arbitrary sometimes how much damage it takes, because... See? So that's one of those things I'll probably be practicing a bit more. You can just sort of slide back like that. Even then, it's sort of... Yeah. Yeah, so now we're in here, and the last thing I'll do for this episode is there's a special grenade, not a boost, but you have to throw the grenade in a certain place. You have to reduce your frames per second and then throw it under this box, and I have not gotten this perfected at all yet. See, it often just bounces, but you have to throw it in such a way that it goes under the box. Because for some reason, that makes the grenade damage spread much farther. There we go. Let's see if that works. Right there. There's a term I don't quite understand yet. It's called nuking, which is a technique of getting grenades to do their full damage. I don't know quite what that means, but there's something about putting that grenade under that crate that basically just explodes almost all of these. I think, so I haven't gotten this particular sequence, there's a whole thing to it, but when you come down here, I think what you should do is you come and get the trip mine from there, and then you lower FPS and attempt that. Now, normally a runner wouldn't step back like I just did now. They would use this as an object boost, or one of these as an object boost, to get some speed out of here. There's a trick. There's a weird glitch that causes these, several of these supplies to duplicate on the other side of the wall. But I will look at that in the next episode, because I think this one's probably long enough, and we're finally done with Blast Pit. Well, not yet, but now we're done with Blast Pit. So, the next level is Power Up, which, as I mentioned before, you can completely skip, and so that'll be the first thing I do in the next episode, is skipping Power Up and starting on a rail, which I don't know how to do it all yet, so lots of practice for me. If you thought this was interesting, please let me know in a comment. If you're also learning to run, or you're already a runner, please introduce yourself. Seems like a pretty friendly community. So, yeah, subscribe if you like. Check out my Patreon and other stuff in my description. And enjoy. Stay safe.